Howdy, my name's Anachi Sasuke, and welcome back to Let's Play Psycholonials. In the last episode, I stopped a little early just in case Chapter 8 was going to start with an interlude. And judging how the pictures for Chapter 8 and 9 look, one of these two is definitely going to have one of those, so... there we go. Or I have to click it. I thought it was gonna just keep going. My bad. You love to see it. Finally taking the gloves off, I mean. Makes it more real now. Like it's not a game anymore. Of course, it never was a game to begin with. It's always been serious shit. But the way some of these chuckle fucks like to run their mouths, you might never know it. Where did they think this was going to lead? Did they not understand that talking shit has consequences? That the Supreme Honk-Effects is not a woman with whom these sewer rats should trifle? Ah well, problem solved. That's the thing about having loud shitty opinions online. Once you stop existing, your bad opinions stop mattering, laugh my fucking ass off. Like somebody once said, when there's a person, there's a problem. When there's no person, there's no problem. So it stands to reason that when lots of people disappear, a whole lot of problems go away, right? You fucking bet. Okay, should we do the fake choice thing again? It's what you've come to expect from me after all. And just like you, I hate letting my fans down, almost as much as I hate letting my antis off the hook. So what are the possibilities at this juncture? Not that it fucking matters, because you know I'm just gonna lock the thing again, but let's just agree to humor each other once more time. Wait! On second thought, Call of the Hater Purge you just ordered like a weak bitch. Boo-hoo-hoo, innocent people will die. Just forget you ever dreamt you were any sort of hard ass and go crying back to mommy in her grave like a scared little piss baby. I'm sure the world will understand. Or, you could embrace your destiny. Realize, like so many other great conquerors before you, that this is simply what it takes. Spare these worms not a single precious thought beyond the moment you gave that order. Is it actually going to do the thing? Probably not. Yeah, we all know the drill now. Meaningful choices in this story can only be unlocked by a true successor, and that's still not you. Not quite yet. You're so damn close, though. It's like Riotous was just saying, you're really speedrunning this shit. Running so fast almost seems like you're outrunning your own ability to stop, think, and make real decisions. Maybe once you figure out how to do that, it'll all finally click. The missing piece will fall into place, and that successor status, which you fought just short of for so long, it'll finally be yours, won't it? LOL, I just gave the whole fucking thing away, didn't I? Laugh my ass off, whatever. See you again soon, Zen. Chapter 8 of 9, Grinch Heart. That's a chapter name. 1 month later. I'm not sure if my headphones are freaking out or if that's the game. Followers 338 million. The brand hasn't been doing too badly these days. In fact, it would be hard to imagine how it could be doing any better considering your account now has more followers than any other account in the world, short of Instagram itself. But even then, with Instagram sitting at 358 million, you aren't too far behind passing that milestone either. And you don't see much standing in your way of that feat, seeing as you recently made short work of other names you once thought untouchable. It was 35 days ago you dealt with Jocelyn, and ordered the Great Summer Purge of 2020 later that night. While your covert ops people all over the world were quietly mowing down the haters and the antis, your brand was busy zipping past the top accounts. In the final week of July, it was Kim Kardashian, then Selena Gomez, and Kylie Jenner. 3 queens who you're quite sure would never bother to bat an eye at a pest like you. How quickly they've been reduced to relative obscurity and poverty compared to you. You doubt you'd even answer a text message from any one of them at this point. Days later, you topple actor and professional wrestler Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, followed shortly by a musician and actress named Ariana Grande. Or Grande, I've never known how to say it. Impressive milestones to pass for sure, but by then you weren't even paying attention to them. Your eyes were squarely locked on the #1 spot held by legendary footballer Cristiano Ronaldo. You had never heard of him, since you know nothing of soccer, but he's a good-looking guy and you made sure to blow a kiss as you passed him. None of this is personal, unless they make it personal, in which case you have ways of dealing with that. And then you mostly checked out of observing the rise, letting almost another 100 million followers pile on top of that. The feeding frenzy fueling your brand is practically on autopilot now, and it's undeniably political. Everyone in the world wants to keep an eye on the clown girl who somehow has her boot on the face of a hapless, disease-stricken, failed state known as America. But you're still somewhat taken aback by the continued success of your account, considering you don't post nearly as much content as you used to. It was once the most critical priority, pushing that content out every day. It was the sole driver of the numbers, whereas now the movement is, along with the geopolitical complexity resulting from your every move, just as well. Is that a trait? Producing a broad range of engaging social media content is a chore you really don't need, since you've got a rogue state to run. Rather than carefully planning shoots and crafting the perfect aesthetic as you once did, you've mostly been getting by posing near all your sick and very expensive contraband. Fortunately, your subscribers seem more than appeased by these offerings. Speaking of geopolitical complexity, while a cold civil war has been simmering under the surface of daily American life since your treaty brought open hostilities to a relative standstill, there has been no such peace in many nations around the world. The Jubilite craze transcends culture and language barriers, and some countries have gone crazier with it than others. The media is most abuzz with the events of last week, which saw the fall of that government. Jubilites ransacked and now have full control over the military. This was surprising to you. That coup somehow wasn't on your radar at all, but you guess it wasn't too out of character for the nation. I do want to point out that I wasn't expecting it to go there, and this is like profoundly bad timing, but it's not like I knew it was going to do that, and the best I could do was just not actually say the words out loud. I'll mark it when I upload the video if I can. It was about 100 years ago these people did roughly the same thing after all. Maybe the instinct for leftist revolution passed on by their ancestors was activated by your radical clown messaging. Maybe it was in their blood all along, and that's why their shitty regime was the first to fall. But many other countries don't seem far behind, and appear to be on the brink of collapse too, as the rowdy Jubilite factions continue to swell. Yeah, I still can't tell if that's the game or my headset. If America is to share the same fate, it won't happen like it just did there. America's brand of imperialism and capitalism was built to take a beating, designed to bring the whole world down with it if it ever truly threatened. So however you play this, you'll need to tread very carefully. You'll need to prepare a good strategy, especially since if anything goes wrong, the backlash will be felt first and most fiercely by your tiny summer colony. In short, you'll need to prepare for war. So preparing for war is exactly what you've been doing this month. Okay, I think it was the game because it stopped when the music changed. You have fully militarized the former island of Nantucket. With your advanced praxis methods still in full effect even without Jacqueline's oversight, the state of New Whimsifay has amassed nearly $1 trillion in hard assets and several trillion more in soft assets. The tabulation of these resources has never been an exact science, but then economists probably run into similar difficulties assessing the true extent of an entire nation's economic value. And that roughly describes the nature of your global movement now. It's a nation rivaling the GNI of many industrialized countries, with its population and assets spread out across every country in the world. And that's pretty cool, you think, but that doesn't mean you're getting complacent. You have no intention of letting these assets go to waste. Counted among your hard assets are many tangible acquisitions, including caches of weapons, vehicles, fuel, all the other supplies of war, and many other staples of societal self-sufficiency stashed in every nation you could name. Who's this one clown that just keeps following her around? All conceivable contraband necessary for a burgeoning global paramilitary organization and then some. much of this equipment has ended up on your island. You've established relationships with military contracting companies, which once viewed you with great suspicion due to your adversarial nature with their richest client, the US government. But recently, they've become exponentially easier to do business with. You're discovering their allegiance turns out to be quite fungible when the executives start smelling money, or, even more intoxicatingly, a sea change in the entire world order. It's nothing you'll ever see covered in the media, but the moment that country was seized by Jubilites, virtually the entire global economic order went into motion behind the scenes, beginning to rearrange itself to hedge all the bets. No one really knows who will come out on top of all this, and strangely, most of these people barely even care. They just don't want to be left holding the bag if they didn't bet on the winner. They all remind you of Abby's dad, who found new religion through Biden once his money started feeling sad. Plutocrats, oligarchs, financiers, and war profiteers are always unknowingly eager to find new rings to kiss. And the newer and shinier the ring is, the faster they run to kiss it. You've just discovered another echelon of simps. It's simps all the way up society's ladder, and the higher they climb, the harder they simp. And so the transactions begin to flow. A few fighter jets here, some anti-aircraft missiles there. Much of this war junk, to your surprise, actually came gratis. Gratis. Friendly, appetizing lost leaders to grease the wheels meant to establish a good business rapport with a young and stylish up-and-coming warlord. The only warlord in human history with an absolutely fire instant. Few outcomes leave you gobsmacked these days, but you have to admit, watching military companies tripping over themselves to give you billions of dollars worth of free shit is pretty high up on the list. I'm surprised she's still operating out of Abby's house. Although Abby is kind of trapped. I don't like that clown. On the home front, your inner circle has become considerably more insular and well-bedded. A new right hand has emerged, a loyal and quiet clown named Mizzlebit. She's been in Ring 3 from the very beginning, and her vigilant, no-nonsense service has earned your trust. She's not a bad helicopter pilot either, considering she just started figuring it out this week after the new shipment of Apaches arrived. I almost said alpacas. Well, there's the answer about Abby. But even as paranoia makes your inner circle shrink, your revenge list grows. Since the night your purge was issued, your assassins have been working steadily and the body count has grown steeper. Abby, of course, wants nothing to do with this. Though she's retired from any formal position in the organization, she still hangs around the house as she has nothing else to do and nowhere else to go. She just keeps herself distracted with her personal projects, which have been going about as well as anything else with the Jubilite craze lately. She's been working directly with the guy you'll never stop referring to as Rat Monster, even though that's not his name anymore. He and his bandmates have effectively taken control of South Korea and are currently in negotiations with the previous government over how to handle the full transition of power. Unlike the raucous, wantonly clownish spectacle that took place in that country recently, their revolution has been elegant and friendly, just like the boys themselves. The Korean government almost seems flattered that the boys offered to take over. Most of the country seems to be completely ecstatic about it. Inside you find Abby in her usual spot carved out of the hovel that has become her summer home's once posh living room. You observe that it looks much more similar to your old apartment's depression nest than it does to her parents' original interior decorating scheme. Empty bottles are everywhere. You'd be surprised if there was anything left in her previously decadent wine cellar. You shudder to think where some of these vintages came from. The Nantucket Stop and Shop? Yikes. She also seems to have taken to vaping weed and listening to loud music almost constantly. Whatever gets her through the days, you guess. Abby! Abby! Huh? Can you turn that down? I need to think about strategy. Yeah, sure. Clark Powell will end the works. Or is it now by Clark Powell in the works? Did she just, like, deactivate the instant the music stopped? Seems kinda early for you to be this wasted. Sorry, I just hardly have anything to do anymore. I can't be on social media. There's nothing to do in town except, like, hang out with crazy people who treat me weird because of my celebrity, and also the whole island is a cesspit of coronavirus, and I don't want to be contributing to that scene. Yeah, that sure became a fucking problem, didn't it? But it's also a problem everywhere in this shitty country, so I don't know, kind of an easy target to blame the anarchists of Clown Island for losing control of a disease that the most powerful nation on Earth lost control of months ago. Oh, believe me, I'm aware. That's why if I ever really wanted to leave this place, I'm not sure where I'd even go. America's hell, and I'm pretty sure I'm on the most wanted terror list by now. Hello, what about Korea? Your boy Rat Monster could always grant you asylum. Doesn't he basically run that whole fucking country now? I think so. The political situation there is confusing. I think he's working out some sort of deal with the existing government, a treaty of some sort, kind of like what you did. Oh yeah, it sounds like he's well on his way to just being the de facto president. That's how these things go. With the support he has, I'm sure the old government will be besieged in no time. Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's too busy and I don't want to bug him. It's one thing for me to encourage a coup initially, but now that it has a life of its own, I don't actually know anything about politics. I can't help these guys anymore. At the end of the day, I'm just an overzealous fangirl who got carried away. So, that's a no on South Korea asylum? Damn. I guess I could cross it off my list too if the shit gets too hot. I don't know if it's a no. I don't know anything. It still feels completely insane to me I was talking to them at all. I would feel presumptuous asking them to protect me from the full wrath of the American government. I guess there's always Fiji. Huh? That was my original getaway location, remember? Before I even came here. Oh yeah, sounds fucking nice actually. Yeah. I'm not even serious about leaving. I'd be scared to, I think. We're completely surrounded. What if the plane just got shot down? I guess that's possible. It's not like I want you to go either, with all due respect to Secretary Mizzlebit here, who has been solid as fuck. Bottom face. You're still all I've got. I'd absolutely fucking lose it if you weren't here, and that probably wouldn't be good for anybody. No, it sure wouldn't. Just forget I said anything. I'll go back to my trash pile and keep vaping all this weed. Oh, come on. As long as you're here and you've got nothing to do, why not hang out with us and help? I told you already, I'm useless politically. This is so far over my head now. It's also insane and scary, and there are too many dead people in the news all the time, and too much military industrial stuff all over the island. I know how fucked up it all is, but saying you're useless is bullshit. You helped so much in the beginning. None of this could have happened without you. You're very smart and trustworthy and decent. The movement only suffers without your input. But you stopped listening to my input. I said how weird I felt about killing and stuff, and you just end up putting hits out on your entire insane list. Well, yeah, I was in a bad place that night. A bad place? How many people are dead now? Who even were those people? A broad consortium of abject filth who had it coming. But the point is, I probably wouldn't have done it if you just stuck around and kept me in line with your good sense and morals or whatever. See, you can't put this on me. Please don't make me feel responsible for the good or bad things you do. That's why I pulled back, because it hurts too much to feel complicit in every fucked up turn this takes. Do you know what emotional abuse is? If you say you're going to hurt people lest I keep being involved and play the role of your conscience, that's what it is. Oh, damn. Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even said that. It was fucked up. Okay, look. I haven't ordered a single hit since that night. Laugh my ass off. What a thing to say. Also, is it even true? I keep hearing about shit. Well, okay, it's mostly true. More people got added to the list, but not like antis or whatever. I mean like ghastly capitalist scumbags with real blood on their hands? Okay? Nothing like what happened that night, though. I was really off the deep end, messed up about what my creepy stalker did to your parents and having crazy visions and shit. The only reason you keep hearing about stuff happening is because the guys keep working through the list. You know how big they are, like a damn dog with a bone. Jesus. What? This conversation is ludicrous. This is why I backed off. Do you even know what you're saying anymore? Acting like a mass execution list you signed off on a month ago is just something out of your hands now? And your clowny death brigade will do whatever it's going to do. The things I have to read in the news, the Bezos hit, that was you, right? I mean, he was on the list, yeah? Why was he even on the list? Is this what we're really going to do now, Abby? Shed some sad liberal tears for Jeff fucking Bezos? No, I don't give a shit about Jeff Bezos. He sucked! Exactly, so what's the problem? Do you realize that when he died, Amazon's stock price didn't even go down? It went up, actually. So he was just some stooge. A little weasel man who barely even mattered. A guy who had too much money, who thought he was important. Yeah, I'm not hearing an argument for why he should still be alive. I'm not even making an argument. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but maybe the point is, it sounds like there are times when you don't either? I don't know, I think the statement was pretty simple. The dude was evil and had too much money because he exploited all his workers, so now he's dead, which is good. Okay, and then what? Are those workers still being exploited? Oh, almost certainly. So what next? How do you stop that? I'm working on it. This is all a very complicated process involving a campaign being waged on multiple fronts at once. You know this if you'd actually stayed in the loop instead of lying around stoned all day, and it's hard enough coordinating all this shit without your help, let alone when I have to contend with your liberal finger wagging. Ah! I'm not being liberal! This isn't some lib shit. Like, think about poor Jeff Bezos nonsense. What the fuck do I even have to do to prove to you I'm not Hillary fucking Clinton? I helped you steal my parents' money to fund your socialist clown movement, and then one of your backstabbing antis blew up their house! I hid you from the cops for weeks while you launched your brand, and then I went along with it while you planned the execution of the entire police force. Then I supported you when you faked a terrorist incident to steal literally thousands of homes from residents of this island. How much more do I have to do to show I don't have any sympathies for the evil forces we have been fighting this whole time? Can you understand that if I'm wondering where you're actually going with these insane purges of haters and rich people, it's not about some ideological reservation? It has more to do with the fact that I'm actually scared of this whole situation you put us in. Yeah, I get that. I was never even married to the idea of knocking off everyone on my shit list. I could just put in the order to halt the operation. Is that what you want? No, because you're asking me again! Which means you're implicating me in the decision-making process! You're outsourcing your conscience, which means I have the responsibility to stop you from doing bad shit! And I already told you I can't take the stress of that! I see. Maybe we should just dial it down. We're yelling in front of Mizzlepip. She's very sensitive. I don't give a fuck about Mizzlepip! Wow. Sad face again. I'm sorry, Mizzlepip. You know what I mean. This has nothing to do with you. Mizzlepip's feelings notwithstanding, I think I see where you're coming from. You don't want to be like the angel on my shoulder or whatever. I already knew that. I was cool with you checking out, but it really sounds like you're worried about what's going to happen to us because you don't think I have a coherent plan. Like, I'm just offing guys for the hell of it and triggering the collapse of foreign governments, which kicks ass and all, but ultimately I don't know where this is going. Is that it? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, then help me with some plans. Get involved in these meetings so you can see I have a plan. That's what we were just about to do. See, Mizzlepip brought all these fucking maps. I could just walk you through the next play to help set your mind at ease. Okay, I'll listen to whatever it is you're planning next. Drink some water real quick. So we got Martha's Vineyard over here, right? Recent developments lead me to believe the time is ripe for an invasion. Well, not an invasion so much as an annexation. Mobilizing our ships past the naval blockades and sending aircraft over there to formally invade MV would be real dicey. Turn our cold conflict into a hot one real fast. But for a couple of months now, our guys have been laying the groundwork on that island in pretty much the same way they did here, but on a bigger scale. You know how it is there. It's just like here, thousands of empty summer homes that can be easily occupied. The infiltration has already been underway. I just have to send the signal and our guys will take over the whole territory more officially. Like, raise our flag, crush the police, chase them all out. Then we put out some sick content online to formalize the annexation, show how successful it was and how easily this whole place fell. It's just as much about good propaganda as it is about expanding our territory, so we can show the government we can't be contained and pushed around that easily. We'll have a lot more leverage for the next phase of the operation. So, what do you think of the plan? Are you satisfied that I have an actual strategy yet? That I'm not just bullshitting my way through this? She looks like her brain is shutting down. What? Oh my god! What's so funny? This is your plan? To invade Martha's fucking vineyard? Not invade, annex! I don't believe this! Bitch, don't laugh, this is serious. It's a serious plan. It's fucking ridiculous! We can barely run one island as it is. Thousands of people here are sick. We're surrounded by the fucking Navy. They could shut off the power and supply chains at any time, really. Or just outright storm the island if they finally get fed up. You want another island to deal with? Yeah, why not? What about the fucking treaty? You signed a non-aggression pact, and it was a miracle the government even allowed that in the first place. Believe me, I haven't forgotten about that piece of shit treaty, and it wasn't a miracle, it was just a lie. Something the government used to buy them some time while they figured out how best to wipe us out, while defusing the ticking time bomb all the mainland Jubilites represent. They have no intention of honoring the treaty in the long run. When has America ever bothered with that? So I'm just doing what I always do. The best defense, though, the only defense, is to always stay on the offensive. I'm preparing it in advance for the moment they rip the treaty up. It will encourage Jubilites everywhere to stake more claim over the rest of the country if we can secure more territory for the homeland. Homeland? Z, you moved here 3 years ago. You know what I mean. It wasn't even the homeland of the people we just kicked out. Nantucket is a native word. If we start talking about things that way, are we just doing, like, the things we said are bad? I don't know, I think I'm losing the plot here. It's perfectly simple. Yes, American imperialism is evil, so we're taking a stand against it, and the only way to do that is capture and repurpose territory in order to weaken America. And this must be done even if we are not the original inhabitants of the land, because we have no choice. Otherwise, we'd have to sit back and say, go ahead, keep being evil, America, because we're all too much of a bunch of pussies to claim anything for ourselves. Get it? Yes, I do, but are you really telling me you don't see any humor or absurdity in the fact that you're in my living room with a bunch of fucking map spotting and invasion, or excuse me, an annexation of Martha's fucking vineyard? A few months ago you were struggling to wake up before 3 p.m. and Grinch posting on TikTok. Yeah, well, I pulled my shit together largely in thanks to you, in case you forgot. And actually, no, I don't see anything that funny about my annexation plans. It's serious shit. I'm fighting for our lives here. Why are you suddenly having an attack of self-awareness and calling all this funny? It's not funny. You don't have to contribute to our planning sessions if you don't want to, but don't start treating me like a joke. I have fucking helicopters, bitch. The guy with fucking missiles. I got, like, anti-aircraft jams all over this fucking island. I'm moving billions of dollars of deadly hardware around tanks and shit. Stop laughing! No one else in the world is laughing at me. They're all afraid of what I'm gonna do. And the ones that aren't are on pins and needles anticipating my next move with zealous devotion. Fucking that country fell, you silly bitch. You know who did that? Wait, me! I did that! You have any idea how many nuclear weapons they have? So like 7,000! I looked it up! Now I'm the one who controls those nukes. Do you actually, though? Yeah? Why wouldn't I? The sectarian Jubilite movement in that country looks to me for leadership. I've talked to those guys. They love me over there. They're just like my American fans. It's a whole army of Sims who would do anything I said. Okay, and have you actually put that to the test? I mean, not yet. I've been fucking busy over here. What would I even tell them to do? That's a pretty good question. Seems like a question someone who was just bragging about assuming full control over them should be able to answer. I don't think you really get how this works. I'm the supreme hawk effects of a global movement. I need to be able to delegate, like, let the Russian guys figure out shit, or let them figure out shit, because I don't really know how anything works there. But you were just saying how you're the one who controls that country now and all their nukes. Seriously, what would you even plan on doing with them? Like, nothing. That's what you're fucking supposed to do with them. What's what you're supposed to do with them? Just let them sit there menacingly. It's about deterrence and shit. Didn't you play Metal Gear? Is that what that game was about? I thought it was just a super long yaoi series. Well, of course it is, but it's also about that. I'm not trying to mess with you here. I'm just trying to follow whatever your logic is. You control that country and its nukes, but you won't use them because obviously that's insane, so what does control that country even mean? How are you using that to your advantage when you defend us from American aggression? Well, first of all, now if the US wants to attack us, it's almost like attacking that country, right? They have to consider global retaliation possibilities, like any basic geopolitical alliance. Sure, but if you keep escalating with the US government, have you really thought about what that alliance means? There's a reason them and all of the nukes never fucked with America. Because if they tried, it would be a huge mess, like World War III. Then the nukes might start going off, and if that happens, everybody loses. So it seems like all you're really doing here is creating situations that are increasingly elaborate stalemates. Yeah, I think you just fucking described the basic objective of international politics throughout all of world history. I still don't know what your point is. You also seem to be taking it as a given that the coups over there and whatever else are resulting in stable situations? Are you even sure about that? Now that you have a bunch of loyal clowns occupying the Kremlin or whatever, do you have any idea what sort of government they're going to establish? Yeah, a better one? Is there a president? Do they have a parliament or something? Is there a constitution? Yeah, the Jubilite Manifesto. Your manifesto doesn't even say anything about running a country. It's mostly a bunch of absurd clown lore that came from your dreams, a lot of esoteric gender theory, half of which we both pulled out of our ass one day, and a detailed manual on how to prank rich people out of their money. There's nothing at all about how governance or how to actually apply our socialist ideas in the form of coherence. A coherence that emerges from the vacuum after all these revolutions you're causing. Did you even think about any of this? Of course I didn't! Because my fucking clown manifesto wasn't supposed to make me accidentally take over the world. It was just some preposterous shit I wrote for fun, and also possibly because I am super fucked up and have brain problems. And one thing led to another, so all I could ever do was focus on survival. I haven't even had time to think about what the best way to manage society would be. The forces we're fighting won't even give us time to think about it. I feel like I can't even breathe. The stuff we're up against is suffocating. So all I can do is put my full attention on trying to defeat them. Once we've achieved total victory, there will be plenty of time to sort out how to run governments and shit. But all that is happening now? Other collapsing countries literally need those answers right now, or fucking what? You're still laughing! Why are you laughing at me? I'm sorry! I can't help it, I think I had too much weed and the situation is just, I can't even handle this fucking conversation. I think the fate of the war hangs in the balance of whatever the fuck it is we're doing here. Stop laughing at me! That's so fucking uncool! Okay, maybe I don't have a perfect post-revolution plan, but so fucking what? That doesn't take anything away from what I've accomplished here. I fucked around a bit this summer, practically brought the whole world to its knees. You have any idea how shitty this country was? How bad life was for people who don't have billionaire parents? Have you even grasped yet how this pandemic exposed we were already living in a failed state? Well, who the fuck was doing anything about it? Obama? His sidekick grandpa? Your K-pop boys? Nobody was! I'm the one who had to kick the shit out of this country. I'm the one who lit a fire under everyone's ass to rip our capitalist nightmare state apart, while all the other weaklings were content to wait around for a useless election to solve their problems. And now you, of all people, who helped me do all this, have the audacity to laugh at me? Like I'm some shitty child throwing a tantrum? Well, fuck this! So what if I'm throwing a tantrum? Fuck these maps! Fuck Martha's Vineyard, you're fucking right! I don't need to plan a fucking annexation. When I want Martha's fucking Vineyard, I'll snap my fingers and Martha's Vineyard will be fucking mine! Do you even know who you're dealing with? Does anybody fucking know yet? IMC! I'm the successor to Riotous, Lord Queen of the Jubilites. I am conquering this pathetic planet 100 times faster than he managed to. And you want another funny thing, dear Abigail? It wasn't even hard! Ah! Z, I'm sorry for laughing at you. You're right. There's no point asking all these questions now. I should have brought this up a lot earlier, back when we could have made better plans for the aftermath of all this. I was just as caught up in it as you were. It was fun, Z. The most fun I've ever had with anyone. I didn't want to ruin it with stuff like moral confrontations or whatever. I think mostly I was doing it because I did it because I just wanted you to like me. As Mizzlebip does the bottom face again. You hear a distant explosion somewhere. At Martha's Vineyard or something else? Oh shit, the power's out! Oh shit, the power's out! Mizzlebip, check if the blackout is only here or the whole island. This better not be what I fucking think it is. She indicates her phone isn't getting any internet service. Fuck! What's happening? They might be making their move. If that's what's going on, then they're going for it a lot sooner than I thought they would. Who? Who do you think? The fucking government! Gotta switch to our satellite internet backup system. Need to figure out what's happening on the rest of the island. Mizzlebit, come on, give me a Well, damn. What the fuck is happening? I don't know! A group of hostile Jubilites appear to be the aggressors here. A pack of familiar clowns you haven't seen in a while, not since tightening up your inner circle. Your guards spring into action defending the compound. Were they the people who were working for, what's-her-face? But why would they have taken a month if they were working for her? They're going after the horse, too? Ah! Abby, get somewhere safe! Safe? Where? Head to the basement, I'll take care of this! As Mizzlebit tries to protect... Get the fuck off me! Props to Mizzlebit for doing that, though. I think this is the music that starts every time I click to start playing the game. I thought it was going to keep doing it. I was going to try to do it faster to drop a beat, but it didn't work out. Is this how the chapter ends? Okay, there is actually music. Why did that one dude's body collapse a whole piece of the house? Why were the Jubilites the ones that attacked? Like, I can only assume they were the ones who were working under the one lady from last episode. Who put you up to this? When did she get the second gun back? You hear screaming. It's Abby. The light's coming from outside the house. Oh god, you hope she's not hurt. Abby, thank god you're okay. Oh god, your horse. Abby, I'm so... Please, I can't. Just stay back. You can't do this, see? You have to stop pulling me back in. Can't you see this is ruining me? I'm losing everything. My parents, my house, my poor horse. I think I've even lost you. You're still here, but you're not. I lost the person you used to be to this insanity, and now I have to go. What? Where? No, please don't, Abby. I'm leaving the island right now. I have to go. I'll take a jet to South Korea. I don't even care if they'll grab me something. My heart can't take another second of this. Abby? Goodbye, Z. Psychic damage. I'm sorry, David. I failed you. I failed Abby. I failed everyone on this island, maybe everyone in the world. I'm so sad, I can't take this. I should probably just go with her, shouldn't I? Who did this to you? Who did all of this? It was a fucking mutiny, but how did this start? Who's the rat? Mizzlebip informs you that she found this on the body of one of the mutinous clowns. She meekly asks if you have any idea what it could mean. Never mind. I'm not going anywhere. Later, the sun has gone down, and Abby's house is all but lost to the fire, but not before you and Mizzlebip rescued some needed equipment and retreated to the horse barn. You've hooked up the satellite internet dish and router to a portable power source. Mizzlebip offered her phone's backup battery, which still had enough juice to power the setup for a while. This allowed you to spend some time catching up online with what just happened. You communicate with others on the island who've rigged similar setups. It's as you thought. The government blew the underwater lines that power everything here. They detonated the bombs on this side of the water, which means there could be any number of operatives deployed, and not just the ones you and Mizzlebip just took out. You find it utterly contemptible. The CIA? They're up to their old shit, embedding agents in enemy countries, engaging in subversive activity, trying to topple governments from within. You should have known this would be the play. You just didn't think they'd be this blatantly aggressive this soon. They're breaking the treaty a lot earlier than you thought they would. Well, that's a decision that will come with a steep price. You scrap all your plans, everything you carefully plotted annexation of Martha's Vineyard, all your patient long game stuff, every bit of it is going in the garbage. You're going to start winging it. During this entire campaign, you've always felt at your most powerful when you're improvising, when your survival instincts are kicking in. That's when your enemies have always had the most to fear, and tonight will be no exception. You begin relaying messages to everyone on the island who has a connection. You tell them to get the word out wherever they can that she's going to address everyone in person. You target the local high school, which has been vacant for months. You notice on the map it has a football field with bleachers. This should be perfect. By habit, you open your ongoing text message with ring 3, but quickly close it. No use texting a bunch of dead clowns, half of which turned out to be traitors. You work your way further down the chain of command and give everyone the message to spread. Meet at the field at midnight. Light it up with whatever they've got, headlights and bonfires. Mizzlebip will stream what you say via satellite. You will speak to your people when they need you most. You will speak to the entire world. Midnight. Your eyes scan the dark landscape for the high school. It's not that hard to spot at all from a great distance. Looks like they got the message. The field is full of clowns fervently anticipating the arrival of their supreme honk effects. Even from 1,000 feet above, you can tell the atmosphere is electric. Little is more important than the skillful implementation of theatrics, as this nation is about to be rudely reminded. The United States of America has begun its siege against us. They cut the power surrounding this island in darkness. But does this football field look dark to you? You brought your own fire to the field, flooded the pitch with your high beams, and I can see you. I can see all of you, and so can the world. They actually believe this will work. They believe we will cower. They believe we will whimper, then snap at each other like dogs and fight amongst ourselves. That our resolve will deteriorate, that we will tuck our tails and run the moment we lose electricity. The moment we can't check our phones all day. The moment we are forced to log off. That is how much they think of us. That is what they think we're made of. That the moment we wonder about the future of our ability to eat, the moment we fear the walls will close in and their troops will storm our shores, they think that our fear will cause our members to peel off, scatter and disband, while the rest of us watch our depleting ranks get back in their boats and fuck off back home. But they forgot to take one thing into consideration. This is our home now! They believe we are afraid, but I'm standing in front of you all for the first time, and I don't see any fear here. I see only determination. Don't you understand how much they tip their hands? When they show how much they think we will fear them, it's for one reason only. It's because they are the ones who are afraid. They project their fear of what we stand for onto us. And because they see their own fear in us, they presume we will shatter under the very kind of pressure that we know would shatter them. You hear how they talk about us in the corporate media? You see the stories, the contemptuous tone, the fucking finger wagging. They look at our gatherings from their aerial footage, spying on us from the safety of their studios, insulated by their enormous salaries, and they judge and they scold. They say, look at these fools. Shouldn't they be sheltering in a place like the rest of the country? Shouldn't they be getting ready to vote in another hollow election? Should they just be going home and restoring the country to the very sense of order and comfort that was fucking lost? The order and comfort that never even fucking existed? But look at our situation. What choice do we have but to gather together when faced with our own annihilation? How convenient is it for rich media personalities and political hacks to sit there and hypocritical reprimand, telling us we all need to stay apart, when their own genocidal response to this pandemic has shown us all how badly the vermin who hold power need to be overthrown? There's this lame fucking landmark in America, a place kids go on field trips to see, pretty close to where I grew up. It's called Plymouth Rock. I remember when I went to see it, what I thought, that's it? It's fucking tiny! You picture the Rock of Gibraltar or whatever. Thing's only like 6 feet wide. It's a pitiful little pellet. And that's exactly what it reminded me of. Like a fucking BB. A sad little iron ball. Like something a rabbit would shit out. Shoved into an antique musket and fired the fuck across the Atlantic Ocean. It embedded itself in the flesh of this land long ago, making a faint pockmark that could have healed quickly, but there was one problem. This pellet was laced with poison. It seeped through the veins of this land, east to west, surging up and down through vast arteries like the Mississippi. It put rot in this soil, and we were born onto it, forced to walk it, and pretend the land under our feet isn't in agony from the atrocities wrought by this poison. That's all I could think. When I was a little kid on a field trip to that little rock, I kept asking myself, why was this ever enshrined? But today, finally it makes sense to me. Its enshrinement is a glaring acknowledgement of the shallow moral basis for the so-called American experiment. The size of that shitty little pebble symbolizes the moral strength of this nation's settlement and subsequent conquest. Celebrating that rock is almost like an American in-joke, and the punchline is that there's no moral basis for the establishment of this nation at all. The foundation on which America was built is diseased, rotten, and the absolute brink of societal collapse is where this fool's errand got us. I see that little pebble and I see a fucking Grinch heart! And no matter how much Whoville sings, I promise you, this is one heart that'll never grow even 1 inch bigger. So fuck that pitiful rock, but this whole island, this is our fucking rock! It's a billion times bigger, stronger, and rooted deep in the ocean. It's not fucking going anywhere, and neither are we! The revolution we begin today has orders of magnitude more clarity and righteousness than whatever the fuck was on the minds of those raggedy, murderous settlers who washed up on the shore so long ago. So I want to make something fucking clear to whoever's listening out there. In no uncertain terms, I am now declaring it is our intention to completely and utterly destroy the United States government. We will replace this vile, corrupt, imperialistic farce known as the American democracy and replace it with a mode of governance that is not intrinsically predicated on centuries of terror and genocide, and one that instead meets every need of its people without excuse or compromise. What has this nation really given you? What do you have to show for your unconditional allegiance? Your patience, your sense of duty, your votes, and your good faith. All of it is rewarded by what, exactly? A choice between 2 demented, corrupt, babbling, elderly rapists? Your lifetime of devotion has earned you the honor of existing in the one nation on Earth which has far and away the worst conceivable response to a global disease which may as well be an advanced version of the fucking flu! These liars, frauds, conmen, and charlatans who fill the ranks of media, corporations, political parties, and government. These are bastard weaklings who you would continue to simp for. Enough! Give up on this failed state once and for all, and join us as we rise up. To all in the government who would try to suffocate us on this island, who fear me, who want nothing more than to crush all of us here and be done with it, know this. Not a single soul on this island is who you have to worry about anymore. Who you must worry about now is everyone else in this fucking country. We are everywhere. We are pissed. We are resolute. And we will fucking destroy you. We will burn the apparatus which keeps all of you rich and powerful. We will cast those ashes into the sea. And we will rest at nothing until we have completed our mission. Jubilites of America, Jubilites of the world, make yourselves seen, make yourselves heard. This is a war I may have started, but tonight I am trusting all of you to finish it. That was abrupt. You put enough distance between yourself and the football field reveille that you suddenly notice the silence. It's a disturbing silence, a loud one, like the one you noticed that fateful night 4 months ago. The noise made by the ominously humming well of satanic potential. The noise you can never hear unless you think to listen for it, and by the time you notice you're listening, it's too late. You can't stop hearing it. And once you're tuned into it, you begin noticing other sounds you can't be sure weren't there before, like the sounds of distant aircraft becoming less distant with each passing moment. Were those military planes cruising there before? And what about those? There's always new aircraft probing your island. It's nothing new, but did your speech change anything? Are these ones closing in? Are these the ones that will finally end it all? You listen more closely. You can't tell. All you can hear is the damn silence, the humming in your head going on and on since you made the mistake of noticing. The devil is humming a quiet little tune at you, almost like he's just been amused. And you doubt he's ever found much cause to express pleasure unless many, many people are about to die. See? Thought Abby left. What the fuck did I just do? So initially, I was going to try to have, I was going to record chapters 8 and 9 and upload both of them on the 8th because haha Vriska. But that episode kicked my ass. Like, my throat is ripped up. I have a headache now. I'm struggling to breathe. I'm scared of what's going to happen when I actually upload this to YouTube with the way it just ended. But I'm going to do it anyway because we're almost there. So, this has been Inashi's Sasuke. This was episode 8 of Let's Play Psycholonials. We got one left. If you liked it, a like and a subscribe would be groovy. If you didn't, you need to do either one of those things. If this upsets anybody with the world events right now, I'm so sorry. I could not have known the game was going to do this, but I'm uploading it anyway. And I will see y'all in the next one. Later.